Alright, so today I'm going to talk about my favorite Visual Kei bands. I've narrowed it down to 10. It was super duper hard, but I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. My top 10 favorite bands and my favorite songs from those bands. Some of them I had to choose 3. I couldn't just choose 1. I had to choose 3 or 2. If I chose one song, that means I really like that song. Probably going to talk a little bit about how I got into those bands, but not go too much into depth because I plan to make a video about how I discovered Visual Kei as a whole, and that'll probably cover a lot of the bands on this list. Okay, so for starters, we have Versailles. Versailles is a band to me in Visual Kei that doesn't really sound like anything else. I think they have a very unique sound. My favorite songs for them would have to be Episode and Ascended Master. That song is so good. I actually ended up finding Versailles through Hizaki Grace Project. I was listening to Hizaki Grace Project first, which was Hizaki's project, and that's how I discovered Versailles. Have they disbanded? I know after Jasmine Yo died, I thought they disbanded, but I think they might have went on a hiatus, because I saw a brand new member, and, you know, he was looking good. Second coming in, we have X Japan, and I did not get into X Japan until a later age. When I was younger, I didn't really mess around with any of the older groups, but as I got older, probably about 18, I started listening to X Japan and kind of the founding fathers of Visual Kei because I thought it was super duper important. My first favorite is Endless Rain, and my second favorite has to be Tears. I get emotional every time I hear that song. I get in my feelings. The song's so beautiful. It's just, that song's just perfect. Bucktick. Bucktick, just like X Japan, I wasn't really into when I was younger. I got into them, just like X Japan, as I got like 18 or 19 years old and I started going back into the older groups. Have you seen younger pictures of Atsushi Sakurai? Like him in his youth, in his prime, one of the most gorgeous human beings I've ever seen. Like, he's good looking now, but where was he made? How was he made? I'm starting to ramble on. I like Coyote, Kagero, Romance. I like all those songs, but Dress is just, I watch that video all the time. That's probably the only Japanese song I know by heart. Plastic Tree. The first song that I ever listened to by Plastic Tree was Ghost, and I really liked it. That's the song that made me a fan. My favorite song by Plastic Tree would have to be 3 songs. I can't choose just 1 or 2 songs. First one, Kuchu Buranko. Spica. And Gerbera. Gilgamesh. I remember when I first discovered them, like I listened to, it was Volcano. Satoshi had some really pretty good vocals, and he's always had really good vocals. Even I listen to their music now, and I still feel the same way. They're a pretty good band. I'll always love Girogamesh. My favorite songs by them actually don't make any sense, at least to me, but they're still my favorite songs. I listen to them all the time. The first one is Stupid.
You wanna be, get up about your age, you wanna got to ride. You wanna be, get up about it, you're running out the ride.
Kind of a guilty pleasure. And the second one is I Think I Can Fly.
I can feel you saying nothing here. Keep your head down, you can. I don't know,
So I really got to get caught up with their other albums, because again, I was a really big fan of the band. Still listen to a lot of the old albums. Okay, so band number 6 is Sadi. Sadi is such a special band for me because I wasn't really into heavy rock with a lot of screaming in it. I didn't get into it until I started listening to their music, and then as they started putting out more and more albums, it was easier for me to enjoy other bands and their heavier sounds. I'm probably going to end up making a list of Sadi songs that I really like because I like a lot of their music. I had a lot of their albums. It's just hard choosing 2 songs. I do know for sure, I do know what my 2 favorite songs are from them. It's Agehe no Nakigara. And Swallow Rain. Swallow Rain is my all-time favorite. I like Agehe no Nakigara, but Swallow Rain just takes the cake. Favorite Sadi song of all time. I mean, are they still together? Here we go again. I know they were doing side projects. Gazette. The Gazette. Ooh, sounds fancy. I really wasn't into the Gazette like when I first started out listening to Visual Kei. It was probably in the middle of my Visual Kei journey that I started getting into them. I liked Guren. I thought Guren was a good song. Their Dem album was really, really good. It's one of my favorite albums that they've ever made. There's a lot of good hits on that. They have good albums in general. Like, usually the Gazette has, like, freaking awesome albums. My favorite song by them would definitely have to be yeah. Favorite song of all time, Nakigahara. Muku, muku, muku. Oh my god. I love saying that. Muku. Muku. I'm saying muck. I like saying muku, but it's hard. That was one of the first J-rock bands I got into. I have so many songs I know by them. It was so difficult choosing one. Was just so many good songs, especially a lot of their older stuff. I haven't listened to their recent stuff, but I do know my all-time favorite songs. I have 3. Goku Sai would be the first one. Second one would have to be Daikidai. Daikidai is really good. Daikidai, even the live performances, I love it. It's just, it gets me hyped. Then my all-time favorite is Kageyuku Sekai. Kageyuku Sekai is such a good song. Like, I listen to that all the time. The vocals and Tatsuro, just the vocals and just his raspy voice, and it's just, I love that song so much. That's one of my favorite Visual Kei songs of all time, which maybe I'll make a list for that too. I don't want things to be too repetitive. Alright, now for the grand finale. The last 2 groups I love so much. Listen, I love these groups so much. I will listen to them until I'm 70 years old. I will listen to these groups on my deathbed. Like, I love these two groups so much, more than any other Visual K group, although it hurts me to say that because I like quite a bit of Visual K groups. But I just need a moment of silence for these two groups because they're so underrated. They broke up very soon, but they're just so underrated, just so underrated. I'm gonna stop wasting time. Second group is Nine Goats Blackout. When I think about the first album that I heard from them, I'm filled with so much nostalgia because I remember I was spending time with my grandmother when I first started listening to their album, and she had passed away a year after. It was their Devils in Bedside album. Sync was my first song by them, and I was blown away. I was like, this has to be the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my goddamn life. Like, it was just gorgeous. And then I started listening to more of their music, and I felt no different. Like Lestat, there's 360 minutes. Trying to recall the first album I ever listened to from them. I've been listening to their music ever since I was young, and I still thoroughly enjoy it. If I'm in a peaceful mood, I'll play their music. If you haven't checked out Nine Goats Blackout, please check them out. Their music is so good. I'm pretty sure the lead singer spoke up about how he disbanded and said he wished he wouldn't have disbanded as early as he did. It was either him or the lead singer of the 10th group I'm about to mention, the one of the two. That's the number one of all time. But first and foremost, it's Nine Goats Blackout, and that is one of my favorite Visual K groups of all time. It's art in sound form. It's just so beautiful. Don't want to get teary-eyed. Like, I just can't explain it. I love their music so much. Last but not least, the final Visual K group, my favorite Visual K group of all time. Nobody can compare to this group. Nobody. Nada. Not a single group I've mentioned can compare to this group. Except maybe, not even Nine Goats Blackout. They can't compare to this group. I don't know how to pronounce the first word, so I probably pronounced it wrong if you're French, but I'm never going to pronounce it right because my mouth doesn't make those sounds. I've just been calling them Rentrer because can't get the accent going, but it's fine. Favorite Visual K group of all time. Favorite Visual K group of all time. Like, there's no contest. There's nothing. Favorite Visual K group of all time. Satsuki's voice, beautiful, perfect. The aesthetic, perfect. Everything, perfect. This group is perfect. And that's shocking because I didn't have a crush on anybody in this group. And you know, when you're young, you know, you're running off the hormones, you're looking at the Visual K, you're hoping the boys will touch each other, like, you're doing all these kind of extra stuff, and it helps. People don't like to admit it, but it helps with liking groups. But I can honestly say Nine Goats Blackout, even though Ryo's kind of sexy. Okay, anyways, I can honestly say Nine Goats Blackout and Rentrer were two groups that I did not pay attention to the looks at all. I didn't even watch, like, funny fan videos of them joking around. I just listened to the music. Like, I was so into the music, I didn't know anything that was going on. I didn't even know their names. I've forgotten their names. Like, I only know the two lead singers. I would say my favorite songs by them, I have three. The first song is Wither. Second song is Karasuiru no Taiji. last but not least, Chinois.
途切れた心は答えを探しいつしか涙が
Chinois is really good. Their music's really relaxing. Me and my best friend would sit and draw. I was listening to Rentrer and she was really like, wow, who is this? Like, this is peaceful. This is like the kind of music you can daydream to. And I was like, yeah, girl, that's my favorite band. That's me. I did this. I put this on. That's my favorite band of all time, Visual Kei band of all time. All these groups I really love, all 10 of them, favorite Visual Kei groups of all time, but the top 2 is definite, and it's just never gonna change. So much love, just so much love. Finally, that was super duper long. If you have any comments you want to make about the bands, you can make them in the comment section. And yes, I hope to see my viewers soon.